Liquor license questions and signage approval on this edition of Barnstable Today. I'm Sarah Colvin. It's Tuesday, January 10th. Questions about the number of available package store licenses in town caused some concern at yesterday's licensing authority hearing.
According to their numbers, which we're still in discussion about, they say we have one beer and wine package license available. However, they have not updated our renewal records that we just sent in December, showing that we have 3 available. So I'm pretty confident that we do have 3 available, but the ABCC has not brought their records up to date on those numbers.
I think what's important is that these were good faith discussions, but that the numbers the ABC is strongly saying are not official until they've had an opportunity to complete their review. The review has been going on for at least 4 months.
That being said, 2 businesses went before the board Monday, both asking for licenses to sell beer and wine. Up first, the Barnstable Village store.
With respect to this property, I believe you're all familiar with the Barnstable Market. It has held a liquor license for decades. It's traditionally been an all-alcohol situation. Under the present application, it would be a beer and wine only. The need and convenience for the village of Barnstable, I think, is quite clear. It is the only liquor license in the village. I believe, as far as the town of Barnstable is concerned, one would have to drive up to 132 to, I think it's Parker's. Am I eyeballing it? It might be a little, the West Barnstable license may be a little bit closer, but still it is a substantial inconvenience to the members and community of Barnstable Village to obtain alcohol since this license was terminated last summer. We have the applicant, Smithfield Market, and I'll get into the qualifications of these 2 gentlemen in a minute. But I want to address the need and convenience to the public first and foremost. Traditionally, over the years, these many decades, Barnstable Market has provided full all-alcohol license to the community members. Again, since the market stopped serving alcohol last summer, that need and convenience for the people of Barnstable Village has not been met. There's requirements to either drive into the town of Yarmouth or go seek their purchases up in Hyannis or West Barnstable.
Lambert's would also like to add a selection of wine and beer to its Centerville market.
Mr. Lambert, which you probably all know, has been operating this with himself or his family for 31 years. He has previously had a liquor license in Harwich from 2001 to 2003 in a grocery store situation, very similar to this license. There were no issues with that. He ran it. The reason that ended was that there was a change in the lease that could not be tolerated, and so the license was turned in. So he has a lot of experience with dealing with the public. He has a lot of experience with wine and beer sales, and he has a great location that everybody in Centerville goes to. The issues here are basically, as I can see, based on convenience and need. There was an application here before the board in 2001. I believe all you same people were on it. And that application was turned down. And then that went to the ABC, and the ABC suggested that we come back to your board with an attorney. And 11 years later, here we are. Well, when it comes to need, I live in Centerville. I'm actually a customer of Mr. Pendergast at the Cape Cod liquor store on occasion, I might add. And I'm very familiar with Centerville. It's been my life for the last 16 years. I lived in Barnstable for 33 years before that. Lambert's has become the focal point, in many ways, to Centerville. It has great parking. It has great access. and it has a great manager who was the founding father, a member of the Blue Coats, has had no issues there whatsoever. I believe the police will attest to that. We're located on two main streets, West Main Street and Route 28, access to both.
After the board heard from both businesses, discussion about whether or not to issue 2 licenses began.
If we did approve both of these, what would the ABC do regarding them saying at the present time only one, but still under investigation? And if we didn't approve one of these, how long could we hold it before a decision would be made based upon the time it would take for the ABC to clarify the number of licenses?
Let me comment on that. If you went and approved 2 when the ABC has indicated that they believe there's only one, that means the whole package ends up in the hands of the ABC. So that we lose that local control. I don't think it's a good idea to do that. I think that they have said that there is one. We should go ahead, and if that's what you want to do, issue none until we clarify this. Or issue, if you want to issue the one, issue the one. But I think it's a danger if you go ahead and you issue 2.
The board approved the license for the Barnstable Village store, but opted to wait to further hear from the ABCC before issuing a license to Lambert's. The planning board met yesterday as well. Brown Bag Bagels asked to place an A-frame sign at its Center Street property.
Before we had sign permits available for A-frame signs, I'm pretty sure that you were one of the many businesses in town that had a sign. Because I remember they did an inventory, the staff did an inventory and whatever, and I'm pretty sure that you've had one. So in the past, I mean, it's okay,
Yes,
it's not, we're not going to arrest you.
Oh, no, it's
You know?
okay. The previous owners,
We can't.
Yeah. No, we don't have that power, so.
the
thank
previous owners, CJ and Travis Brown, did have a sign out on the road without a permit, and that was their issue. And they did get fined for that, but that was not us.
Okay, because I was going to ask you the effectiveness of the sign and if you have any history on that.
They told us that the sign did bring in many people. As you're driving by Brown Bag, it's very easy to miss. It's on the left-hand side. It's set back from the road, but with the sign there on the road, it draws people in. So the Browns told us that applying for a permit would be something that would help our business.
I think it's a tough location to have a food business, a restaurant business. So while the location itself is visible from the street, it's not like there's major obstructions on the road. The angle of the traffic is very difficult because you're not actually going by the building at 90 degrees. It's more like 130 degrees. And so the building's like in your far back vision by the time you go by it, or if you're parallel to it. I think the parking's limited here. I think it's a very difficult place to do business, actually. So good for you for taking the mantle up and trying to do that.
The planning board approved the sign pending approval from the building inspector and sign work with the growth management department. A change in the town's zoning maps was also recommended for approval. Growth management director Joanne Miller-Buntich explains.
At the request of the applicant, staff prepared this. It's had its first read at the town council and is therefore referred back to for public hearing. The changes proposed are all north of Addicks Lane. Even though the entire B is represented, nothing is changing to the south of Addicks. The BJ's parcel is that sort of triangular shaped piece that is now colored both green and yellow. The green and yellow together represent the ownership of the BJ's parcel, the Tarkanow Group's property. And so what this, even though the maps are two different, the areas are two different colors for the sake of clarity, it will all be yellow B. Should you recommend this to the town council, should the town council adopt it? So.
With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.